You had an opportunity, I guess there was someone in ministry that actually gave you a jet.
Yes.
And you weren't expecting that. And what were you able to do with that?
Well, it was Brother Copeland, and you know, it bothered him that I had that flying background. Of course, he loves flying.
Yeah.
And I had that flying background, and yet I wasn't flying.
Yeah.
And so.
And he's such a giver. People don't realize how much he gives to
nobody will know that about him.
Yeah.
Ever know that. Anyway, so I got back in flying that way and felt kind of, I hate to say it, I almost felt guilty because what does a pastor need with an airplane? And so I started using the airplane to fly some of my ministry friends around that needed it if I didn't. And I flew Brother Hagin around for several years until they bought theirs because he was aging at that point and didn't need the hassle.
Yeah.
And anyway, then I had a need to fly in ministry some, but still, you know, it was like I had to look for places to use the plane in ministry. And then, you know, 5 years ago, I'm thinking, well, I'm getting a little long in the tooth now, you know. Might pull back and relax a little bit. You know, this is 40 years.
You didn't hear that song we just sang, He's Not Done?
I know, but I had figured I was. Yeah. And anyway, so, you know, about that time, Jesse Duplantis gives our ministry his Falcon 50. He upgraded to another airplane, and he gave us the Falcon 50. And I said, what are you doing this for, Lord? I'm already embarrassed about the one I got. And can't use it as much as I think I should. I don't have a need for it. And that's when the flash hit me. No, I do need it because he's got another call.
That's right. Your vision's too small, son. Your vision's too small.
And I began to see. He rolled out the panorama of global church planting and utilizing an airplane that now had enough range to go outside the United States.
So this could fly internationally.
It's not a real good transoceanic airplane. You can by going up through Iceland and get to Europe and other places. It's great for this hemisphere.
Yeah.
And so that's where we've started our global church planting in the Caribbean, Central, South America. We've got one church, we got one in Ireland, and now we're working in Africa. But we can't go there in our current airplane, so he'll give us another one when the time's right. That's what he's done my whole life.
Well, you know, Daystar preaches the gospel. I know you saw all over the world.
Yeah.
But people need churches then to be established in.
Yes.
So you have a vision, I guess. How many have you already started internationally, churches around the world?
We've been doing this for 2 years now, and we are going on Friday of this week to the Dominican Republic to dedicate our 5th church in the Dominican. We are in 8 countries. We have 21 churches now. And
wow,
well, for 2 years, that's really not too bad,
no,
Pastor.
Yeah, that's an exciting thing to watch. And you know, we've got another in Africa, in the Congo and in Ethiopia, especially Ethiopia, because of the civil war they had there. It just ended a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Most of the Christian churches got burned down. We have contacts over there. We could literally put 40 churches in Ethiopia.
Wow. What does it cost like to put a church? We're seeing that footage there. Ethiopia and Uruguay and all of this. What does it cost for you to plant a church and to establish a pastor?
We use the figure $200,000 to accommodate all of the infrastructure costs, the new software required for the kind of partner base we're generating, all of the different kinds of infrastructure costs divided by 10 churches a year, which is what our pace should be. Travel costs included, and then the cost of a building. The Lord said, you're not just to start a church per se by saying, well, you got somebody saved and they're now preaching in their home and they got a home church. That's good. Those things are legitimate and real, and we need that. But he said, you are to build a building, because a building will be the greatest evangelistic tool that you can give a church. It will draw people in the community. And let me tell you, I've never seen anything quite like it. And it's amazing what the dollar will do. You can, like the first church we built in the Dominican Republic 2 years ago was a $52,000 investment. A whole church, a beautiful new 200-seat sanctuary and children's spaces. You know, a little more expensive in Colombia, Bogota, but not much. You know, in Africa, you can build a church for $25,000.
Wow.
But it's farther and longer to get there, and sometimes that's the most challenging part. But so at any rate, on average, right now, we use the figure of $200,000 to take care of all of the ancillary costs and the actual church building, and putting a pastor in there for 2 years on salary. So he doesn't have to go work a job in order to get the church
He can
rolling.
pastor and evangelize and disciple and do things needed.
Yeah, and you know, when you say okay to the Lord, it's amazing.
Hello, familia. Enjoying the content you just watched? Well, this is the perfect opportunity to click those like and subscribe buttons and then share with someone who needs a little pick-me-up today.